For the last couple of years, Phuket has been my favorite destination here in Thailand. However, as I'm traveling and staying here in longer periods, I realize there are some negative points that you may not know unless you're staying here for the long term. So if you guys have visited Phuket once or twice and thinking about moving here permanently, I want to give you 9 points that only the locals or the expat that live here knows. First of all, it's about the water quality. Depending on which building or which hotel you're renting, you'll notice the water is really bad. There was a hotel I was staying in and the water was so bad, it's literally spewing out like a greenish color and the smell is so pungent. So I went and complained to the management of the hotel and they said, hey, this water came from the mountain, it's natural and it's fine for you to shower and brush your teeth with it. Well, obviously, coming from Canada, I can see that this is not acceptable. So I had to go to 7-Eleven like every single day to buy like those big 6-liter water and use it to shower and to brush my teeth and wash my face. I ended up buying so much 6-liter water bottles that I was thinking about maybe showering and washing my hand with the tap water and just maybe brushing my teeth with the bottled water. However, one day when I turned on the tap, I literally saw this little worm things inside the water and you can see the dirt, like literally sand and dirt residue inside the tap water. So from that day on, I definitely could not handle it and I moved out of there as soon as possible. The manager was able to give me 1 day off, like a free day of my stay, but I had to complain like 3 times for that to happen. The other staff was really annoyed by me just kind of bringing it up and they thought it was an inconvenience. The second issue that you might run into is related to dating. If you guys are coming here and you're a single guy looking for somebody to date or have a relationship with, perhaps you are an expat living here and wanting to start a family, and you think maybe this is the paradise island, idyllic place to find a beautiful woman and settle down. However, soon enough, you're going to find out that most of the women here are actually working, meaning they're freelancers. So a lot of the time you are meeting somebody, you're talking to them, soon enough you're going to find out that they work in a bar or a massage parlor or something like that, and on the side they would do some shady stuff. So it's not just drinking with customer or giving a massage, but they'll give some special ending. You have to really vet out these girls very carefully, asking them all the right questions, even though it seemed kind of not natural if you're coming from like a Western country, asking a girl what her job is, or if she's a freelancer. Sometimes you have to kind of put it straight up out there, especially if you're looking for a long-term relationship here in Thailand. You have to have that honest conversation right at the beginning so that you don't waste your time and effort and money chasing a girl just to find out that she wants you just for the money and for temporary satisfaction. The third issue is that some of these girls are not even girls. Basically, they have transitioned and some of them, it's clear that they are guys, but some of them looks exactly like a girl that you may not be able to tell. So sometimes you even have to ask them if they are a real girl. And some of these girls might even lie to you. For the most part, they're gonna come straight out and tell you the truth, but some of them may even lie to you and say that they are a girl, even though you can catch it from like their facial features, like their eyes, their jaw, and the tone of their voice that they're not. But somehow they'll just try to convince you that they are a girl and they'll do anything just to get with you. So you have to be very vigilant in terms of sorting out your love partner, because you never know, you go on a few dates and then you might be shocked or surprised to find out that she's of the same sex as you. If people want to be ladyboys, that is fine. However, if they are trying to trick you, especially when you go into a romantic relationship, then I think that's an issue, especially around nightlife areas. If you guys are trying to enjoy your night and they come up to you and you kind of express a little bit of frustration, then it can escalate really quickly. So sometimes you feel like you're being violated, but you might have to just let it go. Number 4 is the road incidents. There is not 1 week that can go by that you hear about some really horrific road accidents here, and sometimes it's more than once. Like recently, there's a Russian guy that fell off a bike, hit a pole, and literally he went and got split in half. And basically, it's very horrendous here, and people drive like crazy. They have no respect for the rules or the pedestrians. Sometimes you're trying to cross at those zebra crossing on the road, and these cars and motorbikes just zoom by, and like they don't even care that you're standing there waiting to cross the road, even if it's at a legitimate crossing point. And I'm not talking about just foreigners, but like locals and Thai people as well. When you go by, they just zoom right past you, and sometimes they even honk at you. So at the end of the day, you have to give leeway to the vehicles, and this is how it is. If you're a pedestrian, you have to be very careful when you're trying to cross the road. Even the Thai people have trouble crossing the roads. I remember living in Vietnam, and there's actually a specific way to cross, even though there's so many cars and it seems like chaotic, but there is a order in the disorder, so there's a way that you can actually cross safely. However, in Thailand, I don't feel like that's the case, especially here in Phuket. Even if you're putting your hand up and trying to cross slowly, some of them just zoom past you and they will not let you pass. And I feel like the aggressiveness is really present here. And a lot of locals and expats who live here a long time tell me that a lot of road incidents happen because people are just drinking too much, so overconsumption and driving. And something in the air, it just makes them feel like taking more risks and speeding here in Phuket. So you guys have to be very careful. And I'm not talking about just your driving. Obviously, it's going to be dangerous if you're driving here in a foreign country, especially without a license or a lot of experience on a bike. But I'm also talking about if you're just walking or even taking a Grab bike, sitting on the back and having a professional Grab driver drive you around. Because I have a Thai friend who recently took a Grab bike and she was sitting on the back and literally it slammed into a car and she flew off the Grab bike and fell right onto the pavement and literally got stitches all over her chin. So it can be very brutal out here, even if you're not the driver. Always stay vigilant, safe, and be aware of your surrounding around cars and motorbikes. Number 5 is people are always pestering you to buy something or to use their service. Sometimes this can be very uncomfortable because you're just trying to take a nice walk and you're doing something and people just come out of nowhere and like scream in your face or kind of pull at you or showing you like a menu or something like that in your face, and it's very disturbing because they can be blocking your way or they can be very loud that's kind of make you jump and startle you for no reason. And everywhere you go, this is going to happen. It's not just like massage parlors or restaurants, but it's like taxi people, tour guides, buying hats and souvenirs, literally everything. Especially here in Patong, you cannot avoid it. People are always trying to invite you to get stuff. Yes, if you're in Kathu or you're in Chalong, you're in Old Town, it's going to be a little different. People can be less aggressive, but it's something about Patong that you always get invited and get hassled to buy something. And if you say, okay, you want to go in and view their stuff, the next thing that happens is they're going to overprice you for whatever product they're selling. And if you catch them on it, they can get angry at you. So what, you're trying to scam me and I'm trying to get you to give me the right price and you get mad at me for no reason? And that's the issue. Some people here don't understand customer service. If you try and go in and negotiate something for a good price, they're going to get angry at you. And when you walk out, it's just like they're going to give you this really angry and bitter kind of attitude, and it makes you not want to return. This is really bad business because sometimes you do want time to think over whatever you're trying to buy, especially if you're here for a long time, right? You're not here for 1 or 2 days. Sometimes I'm here for weeks, and maybe I'm going to cross back to that shop again. I want to think about what I'm going to purchase, especially if it's going to cost me like 5, 6, 700 baht. I want to think about it before I buy it. So a lot of shop owners, they don't understand this. They just give you a really bitter taste and you don't want to return to that vendor ever again, even if they have a fair product that you may consider buying in the end. But you're not going to return if they give you really bad service the first time. Number 6 is you can't really book any place for longer than 1 night. So this is an issue because sometimes when you're booking a place, especially here near like Bangla Road and the beach, you never know what kind of room you're going to get. There's so many potential issues that can occur. For example, right now I turned up my AC to make this video because the fan is so loud. Anytime I turn on the AC, it's going to be blaring in my ear. And you guys would click off this video immediately if I turn on the AC because you're going to hear the fan. And sometimes it's so loud that you can't even sleep. Whenever you're trying to book a room and it looks too cheap to be true, it probably is. There's probably some reasons behind it. Even if the room looks clean, big, has windows, a balcony, whatever like that, but if the price is really cheap compared to the other places around, maybe go there and view the place and ask some specific questions, turn on the hot water, turn on the AC, and see how it feels in there before you book it. Otherwise, just book it for 1 or maximum 2 nights, because you may have to abandon that place and leave behind any deposit you have, because there could be issues that you cannot literally stay there for another night because it's too annoying. Aside from the fan being too loud or the AC not working well, the hot water, you may be living near a bar or some kind of nightlife entertainment area where it's going to be loud all night with music, or the girls sitting in front of their massage shop inviting customers or talk to each other laughing all night. It's going to be so annoying that you cannot sleep unless you have like these earmuffs on. And if you guys are sensitive to like sleeping with something in your ear, it's going to be very annoying to kind of put them on every night so that you can go to sleep, because they're going to be loud until like 4 or 5 a.m. And another thing is sometimes the tuk-tuk, they have these speakers where the customer can link up their phone and play whatever music they want. And those things is so loud, it's like a club on the street moving around. And if they move across your room for even like 5 seconds, it can wake you up because it's that loud. Number 7 is during the daytime, it can get so hot here. I have to like hide inside anywhere with AC. That's why there's like malls around. I like to live near Jung Silong or the Botanica or something, because during the daytime, I want to go in there and kind of eat, go shopping, and kind of do other stuff away from the sun, because it's just too hot to bear. And at the end of the day, you're going to spend more money because you're always going to go shopping, do massages or something like that, or go to a restaurant, because going outside is not an option, especially when the sun is out. That's why sometimes I appreciate those rainy days or the very cloudy days. It's very nice to kind of get outside and take a walk and have some fresh air, because most of the time I can only go out like before 10 a.m. or after like 4:30, 5 p.m. because it's just that hot. You don't have to be in a big city like Bangkok to feel the heat. Even here on the island Phuket, it can get so hot, and if you're riding on a motor scooter, you can feel the seat just burning your butt. That's why you see a lot of people here are very dark skinned, because they're always in the sun. And even the guys that's working in the beach, they always have this long sleeve shirt on, but yet they're always very dark. Number 8, it can get boring very fast here, despite how fun it might seem with all the bars and the beach and the hiking and stuff like that. But you know, it's a very small island. So if you're living here for the long term, anywhere over like 3 or 4 weeks, you're gonna feel like you're gonna run out of stuff to do, because how many times can you go swimming or get a suntan on the beach or hit a go-go bar? Basically, that's what you're gonna be doing every single day. And then what else are you gonna do? Unless you're here for work or you have some kind of mission, then it's gonna be very boring to come here just to go swimming and enjoy all the nightlife, because all that stuff is gonna get stale pretty quickly. And that's the reason why a lot of people that come here, they don't actually stay here all the time. The expat that retire here, sometimes they go to other places in Thailand or Southeast Asia to enjoy themselves and then come back, because staying here for a long time, it can get really boring. Especially if you don't know the language and you don't have a lot of local friends to kind of like hang out with every single day, then it's really hard to mush in with the environment. Being an expat, you're always going to stand out, and having limited like language skill in Thai, it's very hard to get adjusted to all the locals and living the normal lifestyle, that you're always going to feel like an outlier. So at the end of the day, you're going to have to move around a little bit, go to Bangkok, maybe Hua Hin or Chiang Mai, and then come back here. And if you want like kind of similar vibe but another city, then a lot of people go to Pattaya. But Pattaya has its own problems too. Number 9 is the food can be oversaturated with oil and sugar. I'm not talking about just street food, but sometimes you go into a restaurant. One time I ordered a mamasan curry with a roti, and literally this roti looks so damp, like soaking with oil. It has as much oil as it does in carbs. So I put a paper towel around it, and literally this paper towel just soaked through completely. And even then I look back at the roti and it's still not dry yet. So that's how much oil people use. Now imagine if you're eating something fried, like fried fish or chicken or fried rice. It's all oil in there, and most of the time, almost all the time, it's not very healthy oil, because of course they have to save on cost to make some profit out of this. So if you're eating street food or mom and pop shop, be prepared to consume a lot of oil. That's not going to be healthy for you for the long run. But obviously, if you guys are living here for a long term, you're probably going to like go to Big C or something, buy grocery and cook yourself. That's probably the cleanest and healthiest way to go about it, and in the long run, probably cheaper. Another thing is sugar. You know, they put sugar in everything. It's not just the food, but the drinks as well. So when you're ordering drinks, you always have to say no sugar or very low sugar. One time I went to a restaurant and I ordered a kiwi juice with no sugar, and it came out extremely sweet. So I talked to the guy and he said, oh, because we use this syrup. So literally there's no ounce of real kiwi in this thing. It's literally all syrup and it's super sweet, even though I said no sugar. And basically he's like, that's the way it is. It is what it is. I cannot change it or anything like that. And I literally just left it aside and didn't even drink it. And one time I got an avocado smoothie and I forgot to say no sugar. And they put this spoonful of like this sugary water thing in it. And it doesn't taste like real sugar like how you imagine it. It tastes like a sweet chemical mix. So those are the 9 points that you may not know about Phuket if you're here for a very short term. What do you guys think about it? I still love Phuket as a place to travel, but of course, these are very big obstacles if you're thinking to move here for the long run. Perhaps in the future, I might just come here for a week or even shorter and then go somewhere else like Chiang Mai or Southeast Asia. What do you guys think if you live in Phuket? Are the points that I brought up valid or are they just one-offs? Thank you so much for watching the video. Click subscribe and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.